Welcome to Xtra, presented by VDG Sports. I am your host, Vince Douglas Gregory. No filter, very sincere. You can follow Xtra on Twitter at Xtra VDG. Be sure to follow Xtra on Twitter at Xtra VDG. Check out VDGsports.com. Check out VDGsports.com. This is YouTube as well. Everything is there. Like, subscribe, share, do what you do there. And by any means, if you want to keep up with me, I'm not suggesting you should, but I have opinions. I have opinions from a flawed human. That be me, VinceDouglasGregory.com. I'm not going to spell it. You know. Noobs, thank you for giving me the opportunity once again. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to do what I do or do what we do. Gregs, hey, it is what it is. We back at it again. Now, I was faced with, or not faced with, I had a dilemma, but not necessarily a dilemma. Whether or not was this a good decision on my part, or was it just me not following through on a plan? Not following through on a plan, or just me making a better situation or better decision out the situation that was handed to me at the time, even though I can continue, I can do it. There isn't anything stopping me, but I'll say this. I will say this. At this point in time, I don't think it's going to happen. At this point in time, I do not think it's going to happen, but you know what they say. Never say never. Never say never. And this whole thing is, I'm not gonna keep you on the edge of your toes. I'm not gonna keep you suspended in disbelief. I'm just gonna go ahead and come out and say it. And that was a tattoo. Regs, you know I don't have any. Regs, you know I do not have any. Noobs, now you know. Well, the noobs that are still here, now you know I have no tattoos, and there are multiple reasons why. Regs, you know a few. Noobs, I suggest you go back and review the historical documents on that. I suggest you go back and review the historical documents on that, because I'm not going to inform, and I'm not going to give that bit of information now, because we must keep this thing moving forward by any means. Once again, I don't have any tattoos, but there was a point in my life where I thought, hey, I want to get a tattoo. Yeah. And what prevented me, or what hindered me, there was a few things actually, but the main thing, top of mind, was I did not know what to get. And it's something about the tattoo is permanent. You can't get it removed, I suppose, I think. But at the time, it was permanent, and it was something that if you make this decision, if you choose this journey, you got to follow through. You got to stick with it. There's no going back. So in my mind, once I went ahead and got this one, I was going to probably get more and more and more and more and more. It was just something about, you can't just stop at one. Or I knew I wouldn't be able to stop at one. And especially after you figure out what the first one was for me, or the first one that I was thinking of. And I like to say, I had friends at the time, even currently now, are in ATM. Hey, you pick, you choose. This is your adventure. I'm just the narrator. This is your adventure. I'm just the narrator. I like to think I had friends at the time that would have prevented me from going through if I had went ahead with the decision that I was making to begin with. And I think one of the things that held me up, I think one of the things that kept me from going through was nobody could draw what I wanted on, or nobody could draw what I wanted to get, or nobody could draw what I wanted to get in the way I wanted it. There were a few who tried, but the image, the design, how it's going to come out and how it's going to turn out, it just screamed to me, no, can't do it. No, cannot do it. Can't. And another thing, and where I was going to get this, it had to be right. It had to be correct. It had to be proper. It had to come correct. Because if I would have came wrong, this is something somewhere that I would not have been able to hide it. Because I was thinking about getting this on my chest, right on my chest, big, so everybody can see. Yeah, I said it. Right on my chest, big, so everybody can see. I said it again. Twice is nice. And what this tattoo was. Hold that. We getting there. Just wait. Slow down. You are going too fast. Slow down. I had the idea that I was going to get this tattoo and I was going to get it on my chest. I didn't know what to get at first. Then I just started thinking. And yes, this was definitely keeping me up at night. And I was trying to figure out what to get. And I was just bouncing idea off of idea. Then I watched one of my favorite shows on TV. And that show was, we're getting there. It was a cartoon, actually. It was not actually a show. It was a cartoon. So watching that cartoon, I was like, I want to get that. I want to get it on my chest. I want this permanent. But I didn't know really which one to get. And there, I stayed up again, kept me up. I wanted to get a smurf. Yeah, a smurf. You can go ahead, you can judge, you can laugh, you can do whatever it is you're doing right now. Be sure to tell the person right beside you this bit of information too. Be sure to tell the person right beside you. It's like, hey, I know of a guy who wanted to get a smurf tattooed on his chest, like one of them permanent tattoos that won't go away on his chest. Now you see. Was that a good decision by me not following through? Or was that a bad decision by me not sticking to my morals, principles? But my morals and principles is not to get a tattoo to begin with. And there lies the vicious, or there lies the circle. And it's definitely not the circle of trust. And this is where I like to come in and say, I had friends to say, no, don't do it, don't get it. They was like, that's interesting. I don't think I know anyone who has a smurf. You would be the first. What smurf are you gonna get? And that kept me up at night again. I did not know what smurf to get. I thought about Papa Smurf, but hey, he's old. He's Papa Smurf. How can I explain that? And then it's Papa Smurf on my chest. How can I pull that off? How could I pull that off? How could I get away with that? I thought about Brainy Smurf. I was like, I'm a relatively smart guy, but I'm not the smartest guy in the room. I don't pretend to be the smartest guy in the room. I don't want to be the smartest guy in the room. And if I'm the smartest guy in the room, we got problems. If I'm the smartest one in the room, there are issues. If I'm the smartest one in the room, there better be nobody else in the room. If I'm the smartest in the room, there better not be any other people in the room. So it couldn't have been Brainy. Then I thought about Jokey. I was like, nah. I'm already not funny comedian. I'm already a comedian who don't tell jokes, and that's not really a comedian. Now, do I really need that smoke? Do I really need that smoke? And so I just started going through all the different smurfs in my head, and I came up with none. Then I got one of my partners, my boys, my friends, to draw just me as a smurf, and that just didn't look right. Draw me as a smurf, and it didn't come out right. And I decided, I was like, if I'm gonna do this, I gotta do this correct. I gotta do this proper. I gotta make sure that everything is good to go, because if this messes up, this ain't crayons. This is not crayons. This isn't pencil. This ain't crayons. This ain't pencil. This ain't any of that. I had some decisions to make. And the best decision I came up with is, I don't know what to do. So basically, I just let my thinking. I just kept thinking. I just kept thinking until I decided to make no decision, because the thinking became overthinking. The overthinking became normal. The normalcy became, yeah, you get it. And I can't take credit for this. I cannot take credit for this. I can't say that it was me coming to my senses. I can't say that it was me realizing that a Smurf tattoo on my chest would be bad. What about the arm? What about the back? Those would have been fine too. But then it led me down to the same path as before. What Smurf to get? What Smurf to choose? In fact, it's a Smurf. Am I prepared for that smoke for the rest of my life? Am I prepared for that battle forever? Can I deal with everything that's gonna come behind that decision? So I was like, I don't know what to do. I'm confused. I don't know what to do. I'm confused. And I just let the situation linger. I let it marinate. I let it marinate all night long. I let it marinate all week long. I let it marinate all month long, and a month turned into a year. The year turned into another year. Next thing you know, it just didn't happen. And by that time, I was like, what was I thinking? Then I was thinking about every situation. I played out over 1 million scenarios in my head, and none of the scenarios were good. None of the scenarios was positive. None of the scenarios was actually bad. They were just scenarios on top of scenarios, possibilities that were endless on top of possibilities. The variables were so unique and so amazing. And amazing is my favorite word. And it just left me in a state of not being able to do anything about it. And that's what I like to say, a good dilemma where I just overanalyze. And that over-analysis was probably my gut feelings and intuition kicking in and just letting me know. No.